So level check, level check. Looks like that looks good. Any peeking? No.
Checking the mic. There we go. Good evening. Maybe? All right. Hello. We're going to have some students introduce our pieces this evening. So before we play our first piece, I just want to say a quick word of welcome and thank you for being here, and invite you to, at this time, please check your cell phone and make sure that it's silenced so that it won't ring during the students' performance, because they've been working really hard to perform or to prepare a great concert for you that you're going to enjoy this evening. So with that, our first student narrator is Ethan Ferguson, and he's going to introduce our first piece.
Mr. PC is a 12-bar blues composed by... Mr. PC is a 12-bar blues composed by John Coltrane in 1959. It was named after Paul Chambers, who was Coltrane's bass player for many years. Our version, arranged by Terry White, will feature Benjamin Garrett on tenor sax and Tyler Stone on trumpet.
say your name before you read. Hi, I'm Crete.
Hi, I'm Crete. Oye Como Va is a cha-cha song by Tito Punet and achieved worldwide popularity when it was covered by American rock group San Antonio in 1970. The song has been praised by critics and introduced into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2001 and the Grammy Hall of Fame 2002. Will feature Elliott Smith on alto sax and Liam Kuhn on trumpet.
Go ahead and go to your concert band seats. Back in October, we had several students who auditioned for the Illinois Music Education Association District 5 Festival that auditioned in October and were selected and participated in that event in November. So students, as I call your name, if you participated in ILMEA District 5, please stand. Reagan Byers, Ruby Carter, Benjamin Garrett, Aubrey Himunga, Tyler Stone, and Lily Wells. So this is essentially like making it to sectionals in an athletic event. So it's a significant achievement for them. Then this spring, in early April, we had junior high solo and ensemble contest. And every student from Mount Zion Junior High who participated in solo and ensemble contest received a Division I superior rating. So students, when I call your name, I'm going to have you come over here to me and receive your Division I Superior Medal. Okay. Brody Brammer, Cooper Brammer, Reagan Byers, Clara Damry, Aubrey Himunga, Olivia Yeager, Addison Rogers, Tyler Stone, and Alice Jean. Now, I left two students off that list. So, and that's because they earned Best of Day in their room, which is an award that the judge gives, aptly named, to the best event that they heard that day. So would Ruby Carter and Lily Wills please stand, come over here, get your medal, and receive some recognition for Best of Day in their room. Okay, at the end of the year, I ask the students to vote for some awards, and those awards are Spirit, Most Improved, and Outstanding Musician. So for Spirit, I ask the students to consider who comes to band excited for class every day, who gives it their all, and who encourages and inspires the people around them to do the same. And this vote was very unanimous for demonstrating outstanding band spirit during the 2024-2025 school year. This award is presented to Tyler Stone. Now, for the Most Improved Player Award, I always like to preface that this is not the you used to stink and now you don't award, but it's somebody who has really worked hard this year to grow and improve. And once again, a unanimous showing from his classmates for improvement and development through the 24-25 academic year. The Most Improved Player Award goes to Marshall Boaz. Okay, so I told you I have the students vote for these awards. And when we got to the Outstanding Musician Award, I thought it was really neat that we had a four-way tie. And instead of asking the students to break the four-way tie, I thought, well, it was neat that we have a four-way tie. So we'll just have four outstanding musicians this year. So the outstanding musicians for the junior high concert band demonstrating superior dedication, musicianship, goes to Ruby Carter, Benjamin Garrett, Aubrey Himunga, and Lily Wells. Okay, the final award for the junior high band is the Ward Award. And no, I'm not so egotistical that I named an award after myself. I used to call this a Director's Award, and one time a kid goes, "Why don't you call that the Ward Award?" And I went, "That's amazing, I'm stealing that." So it's their idea. But the Director's Award for honoring outstanding achievements in band in recognition of exemplary dedication and leadership goes to Olivia Yeager. Okay, before the band plays their portion of the program, I did want to take a moment to speak to you about an opportunity that is really important to the band program and the orchestra program as well. As some of you may know, the Instrumental Boosters partners with La Femme to fundraise at the Majestic Bingo Hall on Sunday evenings. The Instrumental Boosters is responsible for the first Sunday of the month and the last Sunday of the month, known as Crew A or Crew D. When you work a bingo shift, in addition to earning money for your student account, you're also earning and fundraising for the Instrumental Boosters. The Boosters General Fund is used to support the needs of the entire 4 through 12 instrumental music program. In my 8 years having been here as the director of instrumental music, during that time the Instrumental Boosters have purchased several large ticket items for the program, including but not limited to the concert chimes that you see back there, one of our marimbas, an electric piano for my classroom, a keyboard, a Barry saxophone, 2 professional tenor saxophones, 2 alto saxophones, 2 trumpets, a French horn, 2 clarinets, a bass amp, 2 violins, a viola. They've refurbished our timpani with new timpani heads and field carts. They've purchased junior high drumline equipment and have purchased music stands, a folder cabinet, and a cello rack. That's not everything. That's just what I could come up with on the fly. The boosters are an incredible asset to this district. They've been able to purchase a gator 3 years ago for our marching band, and last summer were able to refurbish our trailer and have it rewrapped. They've purchased our marching band uniforms. They've supplemented my budget through the school district with the purchase of music and supplies like reeds, valve oil, slide grease, strings, and rosin. They supplement the costs of a competitive marching band program at the high school. They contributed money towards the instrument storage lockers that our students use every day to be able to keep their instruments safe and secure here at the school. So I've told you all of this because of how important the work of the parent organization is, and that I mean it very literally when I say that we're very blessed to be here in Mount Zion and to have these opportunities and to have the support of that group and the support of parents. And this is where you come in, because the boosters need your help. As this year comes to a close and we begin to look towards next year, we have several open spots that must be filled. Our bingo coordinator, Jamie O'Hearn, will be stepping down at the end of June, and I want to take a moment right now just to thank Jamie for her time and dedication over the last couple of years. In addition to having many open regular shifts, we need a new bingo coordinator, a new caller for Crew D, and have openings for crew chiefs. All of those positions are credited with an additional hour of each shift due to the added responsibility that role entails. At our boosters meeting on Tuesday, the executive board approved a new policy to be implemented this coming school year that if you sign up to work a regular shift on either Crew A or Crew D and complete your 13 shifts, meaning 1 shift per month with the responsibility of a 5th Sunday 1 month, the boosters would credit your student's account $250 at the end of the year. By doing so, you would be able to earn the entire cost of your high school student's spring trip of $1,350 solely through working a dedicated shift at the bingo hall. Said differently, by committing to a specific shift and volunteering at the bingo hall, your student would be able to go on our yearly band and orchestra or color guard trip free. You would have fundraised the entire thing. You keep your money in your pocket, you earn your student's yearly trip, and you support the band general fund at the same time. Please be on the lookout for a sign-up genius that will be sent out soon. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or see our booster president, Wendy Albrecht, after the concert. That was a lot of words. We're going to play some notes now. I'm going to invite our narrator Nathan Albrecht to introduce our first concert band piece.
Ceremony, Chant, and Ritual by David Schaefer starts out with a bold and powerful ceremony section, which features a drone in the lower instruments. It then segs into a bright and energetic chant. After the slow and expressive ritual comes a recapitulation of the ceremony and chant sections.
Into the Storm presents the intensity, fury, and relentless pounding of the wildest of storms. There is a moment of relief during the eye at the center of the storm, and then the storm returns in full force. Written by Robert W. Smith in 1993, Into the Storm was inspired by the 1993 storm of the century.
Before we perform our final piece this evening, we would like to thank you for coming to our concert and supporting us as musicians. The concert program has the dates of our performances for next year, so please take it home with you and add them to your calendar.
The final piece we will perform this evening is Country Club Stomp by J. Rod Hall. This piece is written in a style of second-line groove which originates from New Orleans brass parades. The parade block is traditionally consists of the brass band in the front forming the first line, followed by the crowds of people marching and dancing along with the band performing the second line. The drummers, the leaders of the second line, provide a joyful and energetic pulse to keep the participants moving along. This cultural staple of New Orleans is evolution of West African circle dances. It is a really fun and catchy piece, and we hope you enjoy the Country Club Stomp.
The small one, yeah.
Where's your first saxophone? Thank you. That was a fun funk chart called Honk by Jeff Jarvis that features Wesley Grunin on bari sax, Jacob Sawyer on trombone, and Cadence Miller on tenor sax. Our next tune is A Day in the Life of a Fool by Louise Bonfa, arranged by Terry White. A Day in the Life of a Fool was the principal theme of the 1959 film Black Orpheus, written by Brazilian composer Louise Bonfa. This bossa nova was been recorded by numerous artists, including Stan Getz, Chuck Mangione, Cassandra Wilson, and Frank Sinatra, to name just a few. It has become a staple in the standard jazz repertoire. We will feature Matthew Mackey on trombone, Jack Billiot on trumpet, which is me, and Ryan Crowley on alto sax.
Our next piece is A Child is Born by Thad Jones, arranged by John Denton. This version is a little more upbeat than the original composition by Thad Jones, and it is intended to express a parent's joy when a child is born. It will feature Evan Kane on piano, Audrey Brandt on alto saxophone, and Ella Humunga on trumpet.
Thank you. That was a tune you may have recognized, Take 5 by Paul Desmond. Our version was arranged by Mike Lewis, made famous by Dave Brubeck Quartet. The track is the largest selling jazz song of all time and won a spot in the Grammy Hall of Fame. We feature Lucy Schnipple on the tenor sax solo. Clap really loud for her. Oh, Rachel's coming.
Our next song is titled A Song for My Father by Horace Silver, arranged by Mark Taylor. It is probably Horace Silver's best-known composition that was inspired in part by a trip his quartet took to Brazil. The original version features Silver on piano, Joe Henderson on tenor sax, Carmel Jones on trumpet, Teddy Smith on bass, and Roger Humphreys on drums. There have been more than 180 different versions recorded, and the opening bass and piano lick was borrowed by Steely Dan for their 1974 song, Ricky Don't Lose That Number. Tonight we'll feature Evan Kane on the piano, Audrey Brandt on alto saxophone, and Cadence Miller on tenor saxophone.
The jazz band's final piece this evening is Flight of the Foobirds by Neil Hefti, arranged by Peter Blair. This tune was originally written for the Count Basie Orchestra, and this chart feels like a Basie tune. Soloists are Ryan Crowley on alto sax and Ehelo Humunga on trumpet. We hope you enjoy Flight of the Foobirds.
In October, we had students audition for the Illinois Music Education Association District 5 Jazz Festival. And so auditioning for ILMEA and being accepted to District Festival would be like the equivalent of making it to sectionals in an athletic contest or another IHSA activity. So auditioning for this festival is a rigorous process. You've got to learn several different excerpts and make a lot of recordings, and it's a challenging experience and a stressful experience, but when you're selected, it's a rewarding experience. And we had one musician accepted to the ILMEA District 5 Jazz Festival, and that was Rachel Garrett. In February, we went to Eastern, and all of the schools that make up the Apollo Conference put on an honor jazz band and an honor concert band, and we had several students participate in the Apollo Conference jazz band. When I call your name, will those students please stand? And audience, please hold your applause until I get through everyone's name. Ryan Crowley, Rachel Garrett, Cadence Miller, and Matthew Mankey. I have the students vote every year for awards at the end of the year. And so in jazz, we have our Most Improved Player Award and our Outstanding Jazz Musician Award. I always like to preface the Most Improved Player Award is not the you used to stink and now you don't award, but it's somebody who our students recognize has really put a lot of work and effort and has really grown and improved, which is what we're striving to do every day. Taking wherever we start and building upon that. So for showing exceptional improvement and development throughout the 2024-2025 academic year, the most improved player for the Mount Zion High School Jazz Band is Jack Billiam. The Outstanding Jazz Musician for demonstrating superior dedication and musicianship. This certificate is proudly presented to Cadence Miller. Congratulations. Our final jazz award is the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award. The Louis Armstrong Jazz Award is a nationally recognized award given in recognition of outstanding achievements in the field of jazz as demonstrated through superior musicianship, character, and individual creativity. The Louis Armstrong Jazz Award for 2024-2025 is hereby presented to Ryan Crowley. At this time, I'm going to ask our seniors to join me on stage and arrange yourselves in alphabetical order. As graduating seniors, you should be able to achieve that. If we can't, I can let the Board of Education know. So one of the special parts about my job is that I teach these fine young people for 6 years, which maybe other than if you go through the art program here at Mount Zion, I get to teach my students the longest. And so that's really special. It means that I get to spend a lot more time with these young people than some of my colleagues do. It means I get to develop a pretty strong relationship with them, and it means that I get to watch them walk into my classroom as scared little 7th graders who don't want to come down into the high school part of the building, and watch them grow and mature and develop into beautiful young people ready to take on the world. And it makes it hard, too, because, as I said, I get to spend a lot of time with these folks, and then I got to watch them go. They've all been very, very special to me, going through the whole COVID experience and everything. There are a lot of schools and a lot of places that their music program was really impacted by that, but you guys stuck with it, and in a time when it was really challenging, and that meant a lot to me personally. And it's just been really my privilege to get to walk with you for the last 6 years. So we're going to recognize our graduating seniors now, starting with Shannon On. Indeed. Shannon plans to attend the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, where she will major in electrical engineering with the possibility of pursuing a minor in music composition. Shannon was selected to and participated in the Illinois Music Education Association District Band and Orchestra. She was selected and participated in the ILMEA Honors All-State Band and Orchestras. She has participated in the Paul O. Honor Band Concert Band. She has won the IHSA Solo and Ensemble Contest Superior Ratings and Best of Day Awards. She has also won the Mount Zion High School Concert Band Outstanding Musician Award. Shannon writes that her favorite memory was All-State her junior year. It was her first time playing in such a big orchestra. I got literal chills from the experience. Although I did fall asleep a couple of times during the long rehearsals, the experience was unforgettable and totally worth it. Shannon, on. Next is Sam Albrecht. Sam plans to study electrical engineering at Bradley University. So I have two people I can call if I have electrical problems, I guess. Sam has participated in Apollo Honor Band. He has won the IHSA Solo and Ensemble Contest Division I Superior Award, and he has served as our Marching Braves clarinet section leader. He writes that his favorite memory was when we broke a water bottle by throwing it on the ground after we said it wouldn't break. Sam Albrecht. Bailey Brishley. Bailey plans to study dental hygiene at Parkland College. She has participated in the Apollo Honor Band in 24 and 25. She has been our Marching Braves section leader and won a Division I Superior at Solo and Ensemble Contest. Oh boy, here we go. She writes, my favorite memory is when a file cabinet fell on me freshman year. It gets better. I was aiding for Mr. Ward and was filing away music in the file cabinets. I needed to get into the very back of the top drawer, but when I pulled the drawer all the way out, the file cabinet started to tilt towards me. I didn't notice it until it started to fall until it literally fell on me. My entire left side was then trapped for about 10 minutes until Ward came back from lunch duty to find me crying in the filing cabinet on the floor. Ward took me to the nurse's office, and I got to skip softball practice that day. I still have the scar on my knee from the corner of the drawer. Bailey Brishley. Ryan Crowley. Ryan will enlist in the U.S. Army upon graduation. Yeah. Ryan served as our drum major this year. He has been a section leader and participated in Apollo Conference Honor Jazz Band. He writes that his favorite memory of participating in the Mount Zion Instrumental Music Program was face planting on the treadmill in the hotel during the band trip freshman year. Not laying the wreath at Arlington on his 18th birthday, face planting on the treadmill. Ryan Crowley. Wesley Grundon. Wesley will attend Olivet Nazarene University to study youth ministry. Wesley participated in Apollo Honor Concert Band for 2 years. He was our low brass section leader, and he received an excellent rating at Solo and Ensemble Contest. He writes his favorite memory was freshman year when we played the clip game and how the alto saxophones got 15 clips on Weirman at once before he noticed. Wesley Grundon. Matthew Mankey plans to go into the workforce upon graduation. He participated 3 years in Apollo Honor Band, concert band, and 1 year in Apollo Honor Jazz Band. He also received the Rookie of the Year award for marching band camp his freshman year. He writes that his favorite memory of participating in the Mount Zion instrumental music program was being chased by a homeless guy in New York City. Lydia Marion plans to attend Indiana State University and major in math education. She participated in ILMEA District Band for 3 years, District Orchestra for 1 year, All-State Honors Orchestra 1 year, All-State Band 1 year, All-States Honors Band 1 year, Apollo Honor Band for 4 years, was clarinet section leader, and has received superior ratings at solo and ensemble contests for 4 years. Her favorite memory of participating in the Mount Zion instrumental music program was marching down Main Street in Disney World. Lydia Marion. Chloe Stovall. Following graduation, Chloe plans to attend Millikan University for nursing. She's participated in ILMEA District 5 Orchestra for 4 years. She writes, "My favorite memory of participating in the Mount Zion instrumental program is my freshman year during the Nashville trip. It was the first night and our toilet flooded. Somehow it became the funniest, most chaotic bonding moment ever. We were scrambling with towels, laughing way too hard, and realizing that sometimes the unexpected disasters make the best memories. Definitely a trip I will not forget." Chloe Stovall. Nathaniel White. Nathaniel plans on studying at Richland to complete gen eds, then transferring to Purdue University to study electrical engineering. There's a trend. Nathaniel participated in ILMEA District Festival for 3 years and earned Division I superior ratings at IHSA contest 2 years. He writes, "My favorite memory was in New York at Ellen's Stardust Diner. It was awesome to hear them sing songs such as Take On Me, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, New York State of Mind, and especially when they sang My Way in French." Nathaniel White. And finally, Autumn Witzel. Autumn plans to go to Millikan to study sociology and criminal justice. Autumn joined band her junior year, spent 2 years with us, and she writes that her favorite memory were the trips and the friends that I have made in marching band. Autumn Witzel. Let's give our seniors one more round of applause. At this time, I'm going to ask our seniors to have a seat in the audience and our orchestra to join me on stage, and we'll have a slight stage reset before the orchestra performs.
This first piece the orchestra will perform this evening is City of Steel by Doug Spada. Picture superheroes watching over a dark city. This dramatic overture in 3/4 time features part independence, a technical 16-note rhythm, chromatic notes, and shifting. We have learned a lot of techniques from this piece. We hope you enjoy A City of Steel.
revival of interest in British folk music. Robert McAtee has arranged some of Granger's music in this multi-movement suite we are about to perform. We will perform 2 of the 3 movements from the Granger suite. Movement 1, Over the Hills and Far Away, and Movement 3, Country Gardens. Since this is a multi-movement work, hold your applause in between movements. I don't think it works.
Tchaikovsky's Humorist was written for piano in December of 1871. This adaptation gives orchestra students the opportunity to perform this piece that has been performed by countless pianists. We hope you enjoy Humorist.
Yukiko Nishimura is a Japanese composer and pianist. She studied with renowned composer Dr. Alfred Reed at the University of Miami and also studied at the Manhattan School of Music. Her piece, Sweet New Moon, is a beautiful composition filled with long and graceful melody lines and gentle harmonies. It is said that wishes made under the new moon will come true, and you can hear the sweet wishes being made coming true throughout this piece.
Moana is an animated film produced and released by Walt Disney Pictures. The plot is inspired by Polynesian myths. When blight strikes her island, Moana sets sail in search of Maui, a legendary demigod, in hope of returning the heart of Te Fiti and saving her people. The music for the film was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and this melody features "Where You Are, How Far I'll Go, You're Welcome, and We Know the Way."
Our final piece this evening is Perpetuoso by Brian Holmes. Perpetuoso is appropriately titled because the running eighth notes of the initial theme play almost constantly as they are passed around the ensemble. Syncopated rhythms and counter melodies weave in and out of the initial melody, keeping both the performer and the listener on their toes. It's been a fun and technically challenging work for us to learn, and we hope you enjoy it.
the Junior High Orchestra Awards. The Orchestra Spirit Award for demonstrating outstanding spirit during the 2024-2025 school year. This award is presented to Brody Brammer. The most improved player for the Mount Zion Junior High School String Orchestra. I just have to say a few words about this young man because he stepped up to learn an entirely new instrument in a group of 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. So kids who have been playing for several years stepped up to learn a whole new instrument on his own as the only one in the section. So I've probably given it away. For showing exceptional improvement and development through the 24-25 academic year goes to Asher White. For demonstrating superior dedication and musicianship, the Outstanding Musician Award for the Junior High String Orchestra goes to Alice Zhang. And the Director's Award, otherwise known as the Ward Award, honoring outstanding achievements in orchestra and recognition of exemplary dedication and leadership. And this young guy just is a constant, steady presence in a quiet leader in the ensemble and has done a great job this year. The award goes to Emiliano Rivera.
Broke it.
Dead batteries.
Mr. Ward. Come on, Mr. Ward.
So, we had, wait.
So there's like three, so.
Number 5.
I don't think that one was left. It's not working.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5. No? No? 5. Testing 1, 2. Check, cash, major credit cards. Hey, Hey, so we had a high school orchestra students participate in IHSA Solo and Ensemble Contest. All of our Mount Zion High School students who participated in Solo and Ensemble Contest earned Division I superior ratings. Wow. So, students, when I call your name, please stand. Audience, please hold your applause until I get through all of their names. Abby Grundon, Evan Usanin, Chase Schoonover, Ezra Stenger, Emily Tilton, Nathaniel White, Jackson Windhorst. Yeah. High school strings, please stand. High school strings, please stand. All of our high school students were selected to ILMEA District 5 Orchestra. Yay. Jackson Windhorst, please join me over here. Come here, Jackson. So now I get to brag on Jackson for a minute. Jackson, so for District Festival is just our region, basically from I-55 and where I-55 and I-72 intersect to the east. Okay, so that portion of the state. Now, ILMEA All-State, to be selected for All-State is thousands upon thousands of students who audition for ILMEA programming. And Jackson represented us in the All-State Orchestra this January. Let's give Jackson a round of applause. Okay, high school. We had a tie for our High School Orchestra Spirit Award. So we have 2 winners this evening. For demonstrating outstanding spirit, Abby Grundon and Emily Tilton. Spirit. Okay. The most improved player for showing exceptional improvement and development through the 2024-2025 year, unanimously selected by her classmates. Goes to Tessa Begtel. Congratulations. The Outstanding Musician Award for demonstrating superior dedication and musicianship. The certificate is proudly presented to Nathaniel White. And the Ward Award. Another quiet but very present student who I have been thrilled to death moved into our district, honoring outstanding achievements in orchestra and recognition of exemplary dedication, leadership, and performance goes to Evan Usanin. Okay, orchestra students, if you would please leave the stage at this time. Band students, if you would please join me on stage at this time. And audience, while we are having this kind of set change, I'd like to take a minute to talk to you about an opportunity that we have and some help that we need. As some of you may know, the Instrumental Boosters partners with La Femme to fundraise at the Majestic Bingo Hall on Sunday evenings. Instrumental Boosters is responsible for the first Sunday of the month and the last Sunday of the month, known as Crew A and Crew D. When you work a bingo shift, in addition to earning money for your student's account, you are also earning money for the Instrumental Boosters. The Boosters General Fund is used to support the needs of the entire 4 through 12 instrumental music program. Over the 8 years, students, as you're transiting, if you would be quiet, I would appreciate it. Over the 8 years that I have been the director of instrumental music, the Instrumental Boosters have purchased many large ticket items, included but not limiting to the chimes, our concert chimes in the back, a marimba, an electric piano for my classroom, a keyboard, a Barry saxophone, 2 professional tenor saxophones, 2 alto saxophones, 2 trumpets, a French horn, 2 clarinets, a bass amp, 2 violins, a viola. They've refurbished our timpani with new timpani heads and field carts, purchased junior high drumline equipment, have purchased music stands, a folder cabinet, and a cello rack. The Boosters purchased a Gator 3 years ago for our marching band season, and last summer were able to refurbish our trailer and have it rewrapped. The Boosters purchased our new marching band uniforms last year. They've supplemented my budget through the school district with the purchase of music and supplies like reeds, valve oil, slide grease, strings, and rosin. They help to supplement the cost of our competitive marching band program at the high school. The Boosters contributed money towards the instrument storage lockers in my classroom that our students use every day to keep their belongings safe and protected. I'm listing all of these things because, in such detail because a lot has happened in 8 years, and some of these things may have just gone unnoticed. But I mean it very literally when I say we're blessed to be in Mount Zion and to have the support of a group like this, and that comes from many of you. So know of my appreciation, but we need your help. As this year comes to a close and we begin to look towards next year, we have several open spots that must be filled. Our bingo coordinator, Jamie O'Hearn, will be stepping down at the end of June, and I want to take a minute right now to thank Jamie for her time and dedication over the last years. Yeah. So in addition to many open regular shifts, we will need a new bingo coordinator. We need a new caller for Crew D, as well as openings for crew chiefs. These jobs, the coordinator, caller, and crew chief, are all credited with an additional hour extra each shift due to the added responsibility that the role entails. This week at our board meeting on Tuesday, the executive board approved a new policy to be implemented this school year that if you sign up for a regular shift on either Crew A or Crew D and complete your 13 shifts, meaning 1 shift per month with 1 month being responsible for a 5th Sunday, the Boosters will credit your student's account $250. By doing so, you would be able to earn the cost of your student's trip in its entirety at $1,350 through working a dedicated shift at the bingo hall. Said differently, by committing to working a specific shift and volunteering at the bingo hall, your student will be able to go on our yearly band, orchestra, and color guard trip for free, because you will keep your money in your pocket, earn your student's yearly trip, and support the Instrumental Boosters General Fund all at the same time. So please be on the lookout for a Sign Up Genius that will be sent out soon. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, or you can see any of our executive board members who are here tonight, Wendy Albrecht, Leah Kane, Tom Yeager, and Rebecca Monroe. Now, our band awards. Hi, band. Okay, we had high school band students who participated in solo and ensemble contest, and again, all received Division I superior ratings. Students, when I call your name, please stand. Audience, please hold your applause until I get through the final student. Sam Albrecht, Audrey Brent, Bailey Brishley, Ella Humunga, Lydia Marion, Cadence Miller, Elizabeth Oost, Aiden Rhodes, Aiden Young. These are our solo ensemble participants. I didn't forget about you. So there were 3 students. You can have a seat, students. There were 3 students who earned best of day in their room. Okay, so I'd like for them to join me over here, please. Shannon On, Rachel Garrett, and Madeline Yeager all received best of day in their room. So they are receiving a certificate that says, in recognition of the most superior musical performance heard this day by a judge at our contest at Central A&M High School on March 8th, 2025. Apollo Conference Honor Band. Students, when I call your name, please stand. Shannon On, Sam Albrecht, Jack Billieu, Audrey Brent, Bailey Brishley, Jasper Cook, Wesley Grundon, Ella Humunga, Madeline Yeager, Lydia Marion, Aiden Rhodes, Jake Sawyer, Lucy Schnippel, and Ryder Shope. Thank you. We had several students audition for Illinois Music Education Association District 5 programming, and we had several students selected. The students selected to District Festival were Shannon On, Rachel Garrett, Ella Humunga, Madeline Yeager, and Lydia Marion. We had 3 of those students who were accepted to the all-state programming. Shannon On, Madeline Yeager, and Lydia Marion, please join me over here. So, being selected to all-state is, again, as I mentioned earlier, that's a student, over 2,000 students audition for ILMEA programming. And so all 3 of these young ladies were selected to the honors ensemble that they were in. I mean, Shannon was selected to the honors orchestra, and Madeline and Lydia played in the honors band. This was the top ensemble of students through the entire state. It was very impressive. This is the most students I've ever had in honors programming at the same time like this, which is indicative of their high level of achievement. So let's congratulate them on that. The Most Improved Player Award for showing exceptional improvement and development through the 2024-2025 academic year for the concert band goes to Charlie Quick. The Outstanding Musician Award for demonstrating superior dedication and musicianship, the certificate is proudly presented to Madeline Yeager. At the high school, our Band Spirit Award is named in honor of Caitlin Watson. Caitlin Watson was a student at Mount Zion High School who was tragically lost in a car accident a period of time before my tenure here. I didn't have the pleasure to meet Caitlin, but from what I've been told, she was outstandingly kind, she was very dedicated, and she was always enthusiastic. So I asked our students to select someone who represents those same qualities, and this year they selected Ryan Crowley. The Ward Award, honoring outstanding achievements in band in recognition of exemplary dedication, performance, and leadership, goes to Lydia Marion. And finally, the John Philip Sousa Band Award in recognition of outstanding achievement and interest in instrumental music for singular merit in loyalty and cooperation and for displaying those high qualities of all conduct that school instrumental music requires. This is a national award and the highest award that a high school instrumental band student can achieve, and is proudly presented to Shannon On. We have one slight change in our program order. The program reads that our first piece will be Washington Post, but instead, Michaela Adams is going to tell you about National Emblem.
National Emblem March by Edwin Eugene Bagley is a standard of the U.S. March repertoire. The U.S. military uses the trio section as ceremonial music for the entry of the ceremony's official party. Bagley composed the score during a 1902 train tour with his family band. He became frustrated with the ending and tossed the composition in a bin. Members of the band retrieved it and secretly rehearsed the score in the baggage car and surprised Bagley when the band informed him minutes before the next concert that they would perform it. It became one of the most famous of all of Bagley's marches.
There we go. How to Train Your Dragon is a British and American media franchise from DreamWorks Animation based on a book series by British author Cressida Cowell of the same name. It consists of 3 animated feature films. A live-action remake of the first film will be released by Universal Pictures in June of this year, with the sequel already scheduled for release in June of 2027. The franchise primarily follows the adventures of a young Viking named Hiccup Horrendous Haddock III, who was initially dismissed as a clumsy and underweight misfit. However, he soon becomes renowned as a courageous dragons expert, alongside Toothless, a member of the rare Night Fury breed, as his closest companion. Hiccup and Toothless are forced to make choices that will ensure peace between people and dragons. Our medley of music, composed by John Powell and arranged by Sean O'Loughlin, features the songs Coming Back Around, Dragon Battle, Test Drive, and This Is Burke.
Randall D. Standridge is a contemporary composer of music for wind band. This arrangement of Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing is a reverent hymn in honor of the life and influence of his grandmother, who passed away in 2012. Moving from moments of quiet beauty through hugely magnificent climaxes, this piece is a great example of the expressiveness and power that the concert band can achieve. This piece will feature our graduating seniors playing the final strain of the melody.
In 1888, the recent purchasers of the Washington Post newspaper requested that John Philip Sousa, who was the conductor of the United States Marine Band at the time, compose a march for the newspaper's essay contest award ceremony, which was celebrating the new ownership of the newspaper. Sousa obliged, and the march was introduced in June of 1889. It quickly became popular in both the United States and in Europe. This march led to a British journalist dubbing Sousa the March King. Thanks for coming to the concert, guys.